Bro, hear me out. Episode number 7, special nighttime edition with your hosts. I'll let you go first this week. Kyle Lewis and his
Kyle
co-host,
Lewis. Yeah,
Charlie.
Charlie. You said I'll let you go, and then you just did it.
Yeah, I let
But
you go first. I named you first.
yeah, well, there you go.
Special nighttime episode today. Almost didn't get it
Nighttime
in,
episode.
but then had to think of all the fans and had to actually I should look at the analytics. Little do you guys know, as loyal listeners, we soft launched last week's pod. So I wanted to slash we wanted to
That was your
see how
idea.
much
Yeah,
that was my idea.
yeah. No,
Let's
but
see.
I'll look at the YouTube. I did launch the YouTube of the pod like a couple days after yours because you didn't even tell me you posted the Spotify one.
Yeah, last week was pretty soft. So if you guys are listening to it this week and didn't listen last week, we didn't miss it. We just soft launched it. So yeah, evidently based on these analytics, a lot of not a lot, but some people listen directly off of when we when we post on Instagram. So we're gonna have to keep doing that because the listener count last week was a little low. Someone's not pulling their weight out there.
Yeah, I
I
figured that's what was gonna happen.
I think a decent amount of people actually seemingly have like the Spotify updates. Like for me, if I log on to Spotify, I get like it tells me like, bro, hear me out, just released a new episode. So I got that. And so the first day I posted it was the majority of the listeners. So shout out you guys that are loyal Spotify listeners. But yeah, I think it's a good reminder to use the Instagram, which still need some more followers, bro underscore hear me out on Instagram. And then just using our stories, I think it's a decent, just a good reminder out there for people. But yeah, it was a little experiment, kind of a failure, but good beta.
I feel like if we were to work on like one aspect of the pod, would actually probably be the marketing associated with
Yeah.
the pod. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like we could post like clips and stuff. That would probably be helpful. Um,
Yeah, I feel like we could do that if we, especially with our first guest. I was thinking about this earlier too. I mean, we're 7 episodes in. We got to start thinking about having a guest because
yeah.
I'm
Well,
sure people are
we
getting real
just tried
tired.
to convince Val, and she was like, "No, I'm going
True.
to bed."
Yeah. We tried to have Val on for 15 minutes and she said at 8:08 p.m. I want to go to bed. So if our most loyal listener doesn't want to be in the pod, we're now
She
accepting
does.
applications.
She does. She literally asked me, she's like, when am I going to be on? I was like, literally whenever.
Yeah, I guess just not
But
at 8 p.m. But yeah, I guess
yeah,
backstory. Today is Saturday, and normally we record on Saturdays, but there was Shelby's race was this morning. I had a run this morning, and then yeah, you didn't really text me until like noon, pretty much.
bro, I had the like laziest day of all time. I like slept until like 10, like drank coffee and like doom scrolled for like an hour. And then
Let's go.
and then Phil called me and was like, "Hey, you want to go to the gym?" And I was like, "Yeah, we could do that, or we could play video games." And then play video
Damn,
games for like 4 hours. But
dang,
yeah, honestly, great Saturday. I went for a run after that. Dude, it's
nice.
starting to get lighter later, which I love. It's like my least favorite part about
Yeah,
winter is how dark it gets, how early. But yeah, honestly, the
very
night
depressing
I'm up definitely later than like you probably are. So
for
I
sure.
don't mind the nighttime pod
Yeah, this is
editions.
this is a gamble for me. I'm really only staying up to hopefully take up some time so I can watch some of the UFC main card tonight. So otherwise, I have a long run tomorrow, so I'd probably be in bed at like 9 or 9:30. But this is gonna kind of bridge the gap and then end out with some nighttime UFC watching and hopefully go to bed, which also never works. It's like that's kind of why I stopped playing Fortnite too, because I can never calm down and try to go to bed after playing Fortnite or watching UFC because I just get so into it. So hopefully it works. But yeah, I got my Saturday night, no sponsor, unsponsored kombucha.
There you go. I'm drinking
And
a
yeah, we're getting crazy.
drinking a poppy right now.
Nice. Look
But
at us.
yeah, yeah, look at us, healthy drinks. Um, yeah, I was dude, I was literally thinking about you earlier because when I was playing video games, I was like, dude, like the environment that you're in, probably especially like when Elise is like traveling, is like the
Yeah.
perfect environment at like a training camp to like have like an Xbox or like a PlayStation and just like play video games after your training.
Yeah, I know. I feel like the guy from shout out Ben who was here who went home early because he was sick. He brought his Xbox all the way from England, and that was a genius idea. And he was just ripping COD all day. And this Airbnb has so many TVs actually, and so yeah, I mean my Xbox is huge because I bought it from a guy at CU, so it's not very travel friendly. But yeah, I definitely have thought of that more lately because it's like I've in my free time I've either just been watching YouTube or just like yeah, I guess watching races or I've been into reading lately. So yeah, I mean Fortnite would fit in like a very nice puzzle piece in my life right now, especially on the weekends. But yeah, I mean no more Fort I can't remember last time I played Fortnite, bro.
I know we were playing for a while when you were still in school, and then you kind of just like hardcore like fell off.
Yeah, I think it's because I mean when I was still at CU practice, I would only be able to run at 2 p.m. And so I was just like I can go to bed literally whenever and sleep till noon and then just go and run. It's
Yeah.
fine. And now that I have a job and like actually run more and like I have to run at like 9 or 10, so I have to go to bed. But yeah, yeah, slight tangent, I guess, but
No, I mean I mean
Fortnite talk.
if you want to like work out, you have like, let's say 8 hours of a job. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot to fit in, you know. There is a lot.
Yeah.
It's not easy. Like, yeah, you kind of have to like every time I feel like I play video games, I lose like probably like an hour of sleep, either because I have to wake up early to go to the gym or I have to go to the gym late or something,
Yeah.
you know? So, anyways,
Yeah.
yeah,
Damn.
yeah.
Yeah, well, here we are. How's your week been? How's the week in Boulder been? I feel like we've talked about Flag a lot. We haven't really gotten the lowdown on Boulder life, Colorado life in a while.
Yeah.
How's
Do,
work? How's Val training? We haven't got. I guess that was my one tagline. I was gonna ask Val is how is your training going, but she said no. So I guess
Yeah, I'll let Val talk more about her training, but from my perspective, all I'll say is I'm very excited to see her race. Because
nice.
she's seems like it should be pretty good. But yeah, Boulder's been sick. Last week was super nice. It was like 60 multiple days.
Saw
That's like
that.
yeah, that's like peak Boulder, like winter. That's like what I feel like makes winter in Boulder so much more bearable than when we were in Gunnison because you get that
Yeah,
like variation where it's like, oh yeah, it's still pretty nice. Whereas when we are in Gunnison, it's just so cold for so long. But yeah, Boulder's been super nice. Work's just been busy. The start of the month's always kind of like stressful just because like we have month to month quotas for like
mm,
sales. So just
yeah,
try to like kind of hit the ground running and get to your quota
yeah.
kind of as quick as possible. And because we get paid more if like you exceed your quota, right? Like you get paid more. So, and then you can get
Right.
into accelerators. So, yep, just another month. It's kind of, yeah, for me, the beginning of the month is always stressful because it's just like a hard reset. Like you might have, like, it's weird because in my job, every, like at the end of the month, if you hit your quota, you like do well, it's like great. But then like,
Mm.
day one of the month, you're back at zero and you're like, God, all right, climb back up the mountain. So yeah, just been busy with work and just trying to
Nice.
do everything else. But yeah, it's been good.
Yeah, I feel like that could be my bro hear me out to start the episode. Bro, hear me out. The way, I mean, Flagstaff is similar too. I think just mountain towns in general. I guess Gunny was a mountain town. I guess Boulder is a really good example of it. So, bro, hear me out. The Boulder winters are very low key compared to Gunny, but sometimes I feel like that makes it worse. Like sometimes, especially at the start of the winter in Boulder, when it's the the temperatures just look like kind of like bingo cards. It's like 61, 15, 55, 24, 46, 65. It's like you can never really get used to anything. So you're either like really hot or you're really cold. And so it makes those cold days seem way colder versus in Gunny. At some point, you're just like, fuck, it's November and it's already like 10 degrees. I'm not gonna get above 20 degrees until April. And you just kind of grow numb to it. And in Boulder, it's like, yeah, it's really nice when you have those really warm 60-degree days, but then it's like the next day it's 35 and you're like, fuck, this is so cold. It's like, wait, it's 35 degrees and it's the middle of
Yeah.
January or February. Like this is normal. I feel like that can make it worse. You just get out, like you never really get used to anything because you feel like you're out of the woods, especially in March always
Yeah.
fucks me over when I'm in Boulder is you think you're out of the woods and it's like 50 degrees for a week and you're like, oh, and you want to go on the rooftop and start doing all the summer stuff, and then I swear the worst snowstorm hits all of a sudden, and it's 10 times worse because the week before is 50 and you put away all your winter clothes, and then you're just like, man, life sucks right now.
Yeah, March is actually the snowiest month of the year in Boulder. So,
Jeez. Yeah, I
yeah,
believe it. I mean, I
yeah,
guess it makes sense. My timeline matches up. I think that's the same thing up here. We in
yeah,
Flagstaff, the guy I went to a massage the other day, and the guy who he's lived here for like 22 years, he's like, normally at this time we've had a cumulatively 8 feet of snow by now, and they've had like I don't know 3 inches, which is fucked. I mean, it's real. Selfishly, it's sweet because it's then like 50 degrees every day, but like the summer is going to be really scary. They've already started doing controlled burns just to try to get rid of any wildfire potential.
jeez,
So
that's
yeah,
not good.
it's pretty crazy. So the summer up here might be pretty hairy, but it's supposed to snow at the end of next week, so hopefully it helps out a little bit. But it rained here last night, which is kind of crazy. So I don't know, I guess anything else. But that's the thing is like I was told even like 8 inches of snow is the same as like 1 inch of rain. So you really need a shit ton of snow to get that same water
Yeah,
effect to put out fires and shit. So yeah, I mean, meteorologist Charlie today. News flash, we need Flagstaff needs snow,
you're
but also I
definitely
don't really feel that
underqualified for
bad.
that title. Definitely
Yeah,
underqualified.
I don't feel that bad right now because training's been great. But yeah, in the summer, I mean, hopefully in like March or April, right when I leave, it starts hammering just rain and not snow, and everyone's happy. But I feel like mountain rain is nice. Like in Boulder in the summer when it thunderstorms really hard for like 30 minutes every afternoon, then I feel
It's
like we were
so
hitting a lot of
sick.
runs right after that. Is we would always be
Yeah,
running
that
when it
was
was a
sweet.
rainbow.
Yeah, those dude, I loved this summer when we were doing those afternoon doubles. That was like perfect.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I like love summer. But dude, it is crazy. I actually went I convinced no, I didn't convince Phil was gonna go for a run with his dog. And
nice.
so I went for a run. I ran over to Phil's house. So I went for a run with our buddy Phil. First time I think I've ever run with him, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, anyways, I was talking to him. I'm like, dude, it's already like we're going into the second week of February on Monday. Like that's
Yeah,
crazy. Like it's gonna be March before we know it, and the weather's gonna start getting like better before we know it. And next thing you know, it'll be freaking summer. So
I know for real. It's
it's
yeah, it's
insane.
wild. It's you just feel like you're getting ready because I don't know. I mean, I think Boulder got a little bit hammered with snow, but it's like you feel like you're kind of like getting by with your I don't know your hand in the cookie jar right now. It's like when is it actually going to snow? When am I going to get caught? And it's like yeah, it's almost. I mean, at some point it's almost going to be March, and it's like wait, haven't really had a crazy winter yet. So I wonder if that's actually going to happen or if we're just gonna coast in.
Yeah, dude, I just thought of this as we were talking about this. So the like two before this week, the last like 2 weeks in Boulder were super snowy. And
Yeah.
then like the whole last week, um, like the time when we filmed the last pod on Saturday, there was still a shit ton of snow on the ground. And the
Mm,
crazy thing that happened was on Sunday night of last week, it got like insanely like, like Boulder windy, like in the
yeah.
winter when it does that. Dude, it was so windy that one overnight, basically all of the snow melted. There was like,
Jeez.
I don't know, 6, 8 inches of snow still on the ground. All the snow melted. But at like 8:30 p.m. on our street, dude, the it was so windy it broke a tree branch and it flew into the a transformer in the power lines like a couple houses down and like the tree branch like caught on fire.
No way.
Yeah, bro. I actually Val has a video of it and I took a video of it as well, but like it was so windy that where the tree branch caught on fire, it was just like blowing embers into the houses. Everyone like around those houses was just evacuating and like
Wow.
there was like police cars and yeah, like the fire department came. It was like kind of a crazy, but I mean like you can totally see like when the Marshall fire happened and then also like
Right.
obviously like the LA fires, like when it gets that windy, dude, it's just like, holy shit, how would you
Yeah, it's
even
wild.
stop it? Yeah, it was literally just like raining like hot embers onto these houses. It was like I like walked down because like we saw the transformer blow and we could see like people in the street like walking that way and or like out from the front of the window of the house, and I was like, oh man. So I walked down there, and then like literally like everyone's like scrambling grabbing stuff, and I was just like, okay, this is like kind of scary.
Yeah,
So
that could get bad really quick if like one wrong thing caught.
yeah. So
Jeez.
yeah, and then we didn't have power for like the whole rest of the night. Like the power didn't come back on until like super early in the morning. But yeah, Boulder should probably put their fucking power lines underneath the ground instead of like in the like up in the air and like next to big ass trees with tree branches that are gonna break. Because actually, the last time this happened, this has happened before when we lived here, and the last time it happened was the day of the Marshall Fire.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, a tree. It was the
Whoa.
same. I think it was the same transformer, and we lost power, and I had to leave our house because I had to work that day. So I went up to my parents' house to work at their house so I could have Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
And I was like working. I had like meetings all day, and Val like anyways like when I finally came up for air from work, I checked my phone and Val was like, "There's fires like really close," and yeah. Anyways, so yeah. It was kind of crazy. It was like a little bit of like, wow, this is like kind of scary. So,
Yeah.
anyways,
What do you mean by came up from air from work? What does that
came
mean?
up for air. You've never
Yeah,
heard that
what is that?
expression?
What
You've
does
never
that
heard
mean?
that expression.
I've never heard that, so I
You're
was trying to act like I knew, but I'm really curious what came up for air while you're working means. What,
it's
where are
just like
you
you're
working?
super
What was
came
your
up for
job at the time?
air. I cannot believe you've never heard that expression. But
No,
just you know, you understand what it means though.
no, that's why I asked the question.
What the fuck? It's like
That's
it's
why.
like it's just like insinuating that you're super busy, like you haven't had a chance to like
Oh,
breathe, so you like come up for
breathe.
air.
You're so, you're
What
so
did you
busy
think I
that you've been
said?
under holding your breath underwater at work.
That's like the insinuation.
That's the
Yes.
most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
Oh my God. I cannot believe you've never heard that expression.
That's crazy,
I need
bro.
to send you
I
back to
came up for
school.
air. By the time I came up for air, Val was texting me there's a wildfire.
Yeah, what? That's
That's
what happened.
crazy.
Okay,
Oh,
sorry,
that's
Charlie.
wild.
I was so busy that
There
I
we
wasn't
go.
checking my phone. There you go.
Yeah, I'm
Since,
I'm just not corporate bro enough for you, I guess.
oh my God, that's not even
I
a
don't
corporate
understand.
bro
I
term.
don't, I don't
You're an
understand the
idiot.
lingo, bro.
You're just an idiot. That's what's going on here.
Yeah,
Uh,
I just gotta come up for air once in a while.
you gotta fucking
Yes.
read more books, dude.
I do, I do. My goal this year is 10 books by the end of the year. I've already finished one and I'm almost finished the second. So I'm on pace, which
Well,
is
that's good.
big for me. Yeah,
It would be good for me to read a book. I haven't read a
that's what I'm
book in
saying.
a while.
The first
Yeah.
book, the first book I read was kind of like it was a very easy read, and then now this book is not an easy read, and so it's kind of mellowing out, like it's evening everything out. This book is the first book we read in like 2 weeks, and then this book has probably been closer to, I don't know, do the math on that, 6 or 7 weeks, and so but cranking along. So yeah,
No, that's good. I really reading is actually super nice once you get into like a good book. I just need to like sit down. I have a bunch of books that I just
yeah,
have not cracked because I don't know, getting in bed and thinking about like opening a book is just I don't know, not been in the
it's tough.
cards.
Yeah, it's a tough commitment, but it's nice every so often.
Yeah, no, it's good. I mean, Val does it all the time, and yeah, I mean, I used
She's
to
way
read a lot
smarter than
more.
you,
Yeah, I mean, she is way smarter
smarter,
than me,
more
so
successful.
definitely more successful for sure. So, all right. I think we should take our segue about talking about books, into we should talk about all the races that just happened today.
Yeah, today, literally. Yeah. Was there any? There wasn't any really yesterday because today was
I,
Millrose. Yeah, I guess pretty
and
much
then
just Millrose was today.
yeah, and some at BU, but yeah, mostly Millrose.
And then,
Um,
yeah, Lisa's race last week was on Sunday, so it was after we had recorded. What was that? New
oh
Balance
yeah, we
Grand
can talk
Prix.
about that. We should talk about that first because that I was
Yeah.
excited for that race. That was an interesting. The results of that race
One
were
of my
interesting.
predictions, I listened to the podcast after of the women's 3K. My prediction was dead on. It was 1 in 8:28. Not by at least,
Well,
but she ran 8:29.
yeah, no,
Pretty good.
you were way closer. Yeah, it'd have been interesting to see if if Jess Hull was in that race, if they would have gone faster. But dude,
Yeah,
Elise crushed it, obviously. The girl that won, Melissa, I think her name's Melissa Courtney Bryant,
Courtney.
right?
Yeah,
Dude, I was very impressed by that performance.
yeah. She's British. Mark Scott knows her, and he said that she is training in Kenya right now, which is crazy. So yeah, I think she was
Damn.
pretty fit for this race and did a training camp for this race, which is kind of what I alluded to a little bit last week. Is I feel some like indoors is just so wild, and those races last week, especially, were in some a little bit today, but we're a good example of some pros are training all out for indoors and have a big emphasis on it, and then some pros are just like trying to bust rust with like I think you used to be able to. But now, yeah, it seems like it seems you cannot really be rust busted indoors anymore. You either have to be fit enough to run like a world record or run like really close to like your
Or an
country or
American
area
record.
record. Yeah.
Yeah,
Or you don't need to be running indoors at all. So,
dude,
which is
it's
crazy.
actually insane. Running is just getting so stupid, dude. It's so cool, but it's like holy shit.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, okay. On Elise's race, she crushed it. Obviously the girl who won crushed it. Who else ran well in that race? Parker Valby had her debut. She got third, right? I think she got third.
I'm pretty sure she was third or fourth. There was a girl
Yeah,
right behind her. I can't remember.
she ran 8:34. Oh, Emily Mackay, I think, was right behind her.
Oh yeah, I think I remember that because that was one of your picks.
Yeah, yeah, she wasn't far off top three. She was fifth. So
Yeah, and
yeah,
then there was kind of a big gap, and then some girls were in like the 840s to 850s. So yeah, not as big of a pack. I know the men's 3K was pretty crazy. Shout out Andrew Coscore, and he was in Flagstaff. I had ran with him like 3 days prior to his race. I think he ran 7:30. He didn't get kicked down by Hobbs Kessler, which was pretty crazy to me, and he ran an Irish record, which was pretty cool. He's a two-time Olympian. I think he's a Supton runner, and then he also ran at Millrose today. But so yeah, he won that. Hobbs was I think second or third in that
wasn't Grant? Didn't I say
CPT.
Grant Fisher to
He
win the
was in the
1500?
15. Yeah, he
Oh,
got
okay,
second. The
yeah,
Josh Hoey, bro.
dude, that guy just set an
Potentially the
American
hottest guy
record
in
today.
American running right now. Josh Hoey, American record in the 1K. Then he runs 3:33 indoors, and then he runs an American record in the 800 at Millrose. 1:43 takes down Donovan Brazier's record and
And
beats
beat Bryce Hoppel.
Bryce. Yeah, which is
Yeah,
nuts.
which is crazy. I watched that race and I was just waiting for Bryce to come around him and he just didn't have the wheels. So
Yeah,
yeah,
and
that
Josh
was
Hoey runs like his arms are so wide. Like that man takes up like lane and a half, bro. He
yeah,
just is like he's so lactic. It looks like all the
ha-
time. But yeah, I mean, crazy.
yeah, yeah. He doesn't have the prettiest form, but what did he finish in the trials last year? Like I don't really
Fourth.
know. He was fourth last year.
Yeah, yeah, he's
Hmm.
fourth in the eight. So
Damn,
he
it's
was right there. But I think the trials last year or outdoor trials were pretty close for like fourth, fifth, and sixth. Like I'm sure it was like Hoey, Isaiah Jewett, and like who knows who else because it was Brandon Miller, Bryce, and Hobbs. So yeah, it's probably pretty close. And I mean, I feel like all the 800 final and Clayton Murphy was probably right there too. So yeah, I
yeah,
mean, it was probably a mix up, and technically Josh was fourth. But yeah, I remember when he went. I think he's like a year younger than me. He went pro out of high school. I think I'm pretty sure he's a Virginia or like Northeast like area kind of kid, and his parents built. He has two other brothers that are both runners. One of them went pro with him out of high school. His parents built an outdoor track in their backyard, and they were having track meets there during COVID.
damn. If
So
my parents had
if
that
you're,
type of money, I would have been fucking
yeah,
pissed. Be
I
like,
was
wait, you
like,
built me a track? You could have built so many other things, but you built a track? No,
yeah,
that is
yeah.
cool though. You
A
could
full
build.
400-meter track with this in the backyard.
Is it
You and your brothers
Mondo?
better be good. I
How
don't
nice is
know.
this fucking track?
It's got to be pretty nice. I feel like, I mean, to have meets there, I feel like they're flexing it out a little bit during COVID. So,
Yeah, I
but I
mean,
think they were in Flag a little bit ago too. So maybe the track isn't that nice anymore, but still.
damn. Where does what group does Josh Hoey train with? Do you know?
I think it's just him and his two brothers.
Oh, damn.
I think and I heard today that he doesn't do any easy runs. He just works out like Monday or Tuesday, Friday, Sunday, and then the other days he just doesn't run. He just takes it off. So that's what I heard. Or like
Interesting.
Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and then maybe a long run Sunday, and then the other days he just doesn't run, which
That's
maybe is a
crazy.
life hack. I don't know. If you're trying to run a fast 800, maybe you don't need to run that much and just like work out, run
He's
all out
like
all the time.
he's like Sean Strickland. He's like, I don't train, I just fight other dudes.
Yeah, yeah. I just work out all the time, and if I'm not working out, I'm not running.
Oh shit. That's crazy. I haven't heard of that. I mean, I know that Parker Valby does a lot of cross training. But
Yeah,
I haven't heard of someone who like basically just exclusively does workouts.
yeah.
So
I mean, that's what I heard. Could be totally bullshit, but that's just kind of adding to the allure of Josh Hoey right now.
this is our first guest, Josh Hoey. I know you're gonna see this, so if you
Yeah,
want
feel
to come on
free.
the
Come
pod
on
and tell us more about your training that we're probably not getting right at all, that
the
would be
training
interesting.
regimen that I don't really care anything about.
Yeah, first time I've heard about that. That is cool though that his parents built him a track that, or him and his brothers a
Yeah,
track. That's insane.
flex.
All right, let's go through the races just one by one so we stay organized here. All right. Obviously, okay, so we did the men's eight. That was a really good race. Very impressive. I would love to see Josh Hoey keep it going
Yeah.
into outdoor. I think that's the other thing. That's one of the things I'll just
These are
say
the
before
races
we
from
get.
today, right? That's what you're saying?
Yeah,
The
yeah. Let's
Millrose
go through.
races? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Let's go through the races today. But one thing I think that is so fascinating about indoor is that I really feel like it has zero bearing. It can like indicate things for sure that like people are in good
Uh,
fitness, but it also can mean like nothing because I mean think about when World Champs is, right? Like it's in September of this year.
yeah.
So it's like yes, it can be definitely a positive sign, but at the same time, someone could run like ass and indoor and then go outdoors and just like light it up, or vice versa. So
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's indoors is kind of crazy. It's just wild. It's like, especially I feel for sprinters, like I don't know how much more time you're dropping. And it's different events like 60-meter hurdles or 60-meter dash versus 100 and 400 hurdles or whatever. But yeah, I feel like for distance runners, it's like if you're really fit right now, that's cool. It's just interesting, like how are you going to break it up for the rest of like, are you going to take a break? Are you going to keep training through? And then yeah, it's like you have people like Val who haven't raced indoors who are the returning favorite for the steeple, and like Courtney Frerichs isn't racing indoors, and she's going to be a pretty, I'm assuming, heavy hitter for the steeple, and I mean, yeah, there's bound to be other. I mean, the college guys are racing indoors, but then you have guys like what's a good example? I mean, Woody hasn't raced. Woody's not racing indoors, and he's gonna probably make the 10K team at least. So it's like, yeah, it's very interesting because you can have a crazy indoors and run like Josh Hoey. Like he could unfortunately end up being a great example of like you could run an American record indoors and then
just
potentially
get
fizzle out and not make the team. Because like if Bryce gets fitter, Hobbs makes the team again, and then you have to worry about, I mean, so many other guys like Clayton Murphy and Donovan Brazier coming back, and what's his name? That anime guy that went to USC, Isaiah Jewett. And it's like, yeah, I
yeah.
mean, those are three guys that you've already been beaten by so many times before. It's like pro indoors is wild.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think I would say that I feel like in general, and again, this is just probably my opinion, that it's especially that it's kind of, I guess there would be two ways to look at it this year because Worlds is so far out. That could be looked at
Yeah.
as a better reason to do indoors this year because you have like more time to kind of like chill maybe after indoors and like rebuild for outdoor. But I would say typically speaking, like focusing on indoor, honestly, I don't think is typically a very like super beneficial thing for outdoor
Mm,
because I think it just imposes a lot of risk, you know,
yeah, for
like
sure.
doing, yeah, just like getting hurt or whatever. I just think that focusing on outdoors, I mean, that's definitely been more. of like, Val's approach is that like, hey, like I'm really looking to do big things outdoor. Like I would love to run indoor, but I've got
It's
to
just not
be
sustainable. Yeah, you got to be able to
right.
recognize that. And a lot of, I mean, that's part of, I feel turning pro and like figuring that out. Like some pros can do it, but then like some pros have like Yard last year was really good indoors and out. And so it's like some pros can. Josh Kerr is a good example as well, but then some pros like you just have to be able to recognize and have the mature conversations with like your agent or your brand or whatever and just be like, look, if you want me to do better at outdoors, which is more more of an emphasis all around. I just like can't do indoors, or I can do like one race indoors, and it's
Yeah.
like don't expect much because it's just really my one thing. So yeah, it's
Yep.
just like kind of figuring it out, really.
Yeah, I think it definitely depends on the athlete, like for sure. But yeah, I mean, one person I always remember that very rarely ever did indoors was like Emma. She like never did
Yeah,
indoors. I mean, I know she ran some races here and there, but for the most part, I know she was always super outdoor focused, which also one of the things I'll also say too, and obviously I'm biased, but I do think that the steeple this year has probably some of like the altogether the most interesting storylines
yeah,
like with Emma, like where is Emma going to be? Like obviously Courtney coming back from injury. Both of those two are going to be super interesting. Like, can they put it together? Um, and then you got all these like young guns like coming up, like Mark Olivia Markachek and who else? I mean, I guess Gabby, but I wouldn't say she's like a super young gun like Olivia. But and then obviously like Emma and Courtney, or not Emma, Val and Courtney and I guess Marissa. Oh yeah, dude. Val just told me Marissa is pregnant, so I guess she probably won't be racing.
wow, dang, good for
Did you
her, I
know that?
guess. No,
Yeah. So,
I'm stuck on you calling people young guns.
oh God, what is with you today?
Young
Um.
guns, bro.
All right, we're getting distracted. We're getting distracted. Anyways, I think I'm biased, but I think the steeple this year will be really cool, just with all the different people that are hopefully going to be healthy and racing. All right,
Don't forget the
first.
young guns in the steeple. The young guns will
All
be
right,
interesting.
remember everybody, don't be friends with Charlie. He's a dickhead. Okay. First race, men's 3000. Also, okay, so we should go through every race and then we should say like what our favorite race of the day was because there's a shit ton of really good races. Men's 3K.
Oh, yeah. Or underrated, overrated. That's what we should say
Okay,
for the
okay.
race. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. Men's 3K, crazy race.
Yeah.
Graham Fisher took Cole Hawker to the line. 7:22:91 world record. Cole Hawker 7:23:14, also under the previous world record. And then I don't even honestly don't know who this is, but Jimmy Gressier ran
Yeah. He's a
7:30
French guy. He just signed a massive contract.
with Kip Run.
Yeah. He was on the French team in Paris for the 5 and the 10, I'm pretty sure.
What's a
He's
massive
pretty good.
contract, Chuck? What have you heard?
I've heard it's 250 euros a year.
Fuck. Well,
Pretty massive.
Jimmy, send some of that my way for shouting you out. 7:30 national record for France. Kai Robinson, seven thirty
Yeah.
thirty eight national record for Australia. And then Dylan Jacobs, 7:30, Cooper Tier, 7:30, and then bunch other people. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
crazy
I
race.
would super crazy race. I would say that race was overrated in my opinion. It was
Okay,
a
so are you,
really
sorry, go
I'm
ahead.
just going in my strict opinion, not of like the race result. Like obviously 722 is nuts, but I think there's maybe I need to get this out before we start, and I can revisit my underrated overrated.
Yeah.
Aisha Lair said it on a interview or like her. I guess she's part of Sidious now. I don't know what she's doing, but she said that there should be one track meet per season, like outdoor and indoors, that should just be like the world record track meet. And I feel like we've talked about this off the podcast before, but it's like the mile was a good example as well with spoiler Yard ran the world record, but I feel like say like Cole and Grant, like it was this big build up and say they ran 7:29 and they didn't even or the American record was 7:28. So yeah, say they ran 7:29, then it's like it could have been this insane race. And if they were like 5 seconds back, then it would have been a race between, I don't know, all those guys that you said. So that's like 5 or 6 guys duking it out. The race would have been nuts. But then everyone would have been like, oh, they were so close to the American record, they didn't get it. Like, oh, that sucks. Or if they ran like 7:24, the general public, I feel, would have been like, oh, they got the American record, but they're so close to the world record. Like, they didn't have the greatest race. And I think like we're just getting lost in the sauce of records, like record breaking versus like we just need to have them race more often. So yeah, I feel like if they ran like 7:29 or if Yard ran like 3:47, it's like a second off the world record, people would be like, wow, it's really fast, but he was so close to the world record. It's like, let's not undersell these guys running 7:29 and like 3:40 whatever, even if it's not a world record. It's
Yeah.
like these are still really good races, and I think that's, I mean, it just seems like today there were like so many American and world records broken, which is really cool. But I don't know. I feel like if they were a second off of the world record or a second off the American record, people would be like, "Oh, like he was so close. That wasn't his best race because he could have ran it." It's like, no, let's not do that. So that's why I say it's overrated because like they ran the world record, but also I think it could like I think if they didn't run the world record or American record, people would have been bummed, which is so stupid. So I think the
No,
crowd is overrated.
so I was literally thinking about this because I saw that Sidious Mag uh like prediction. That's what you watched, right? The prediction thing for
Yeah,
the
I think so.
races. Yeah, I watched some of that too, and I saw the part where they were talking about that. I was gonna say, I was literally thinking of this yesterday, which is funny that you said this too. But I was literally gonna say, like, a bro, hear me out would be like, world record chasing is not good for like the sport. And I think you saw that at the
Yeah.
Diamond. I think you saw that at the Diamond Leagues last year. Like I remember Elise's race. What was the race where they were paid like that she
Oh
ran? It was in
yeah.
like the rain. That fucking race sucked.
Yeah, it did.
That race
I think that
sucked. That
was
was like one of the
a
yeah, it was
5K, I'm pretty
it was a
sure.
5K. Like that race sucked. They ruined the race for everybody else besides the one person that was trying to break world record. And it's just like
And she
no
didn't
one
break the
wanted
world record either.
well,
Yeah.
right. She still ran really fast in bad conditions, but it's just, dude, I don't give a fuck about how fast they run. I want to like, I mean, yeah, it is cool when people run really fast, but it's way more exciting to see like people like run really close, like competitive races. Like, a hot take would be almost that like Sydney McLaughlin is a really good example of this. Watching her race is incredible because she's so much better than everyone else, but her
Yeah.
races aren't that exciting.
Right.
Like, because she's gonna fucking destroy everybody. So,
Yeah.
like I'd rather watch, I mean, honestly, the races, if you like remove Sydney McLaughlin from her race and just watch like 2 through 3, like duke it out, like those are, yeah, again, personal opinion, but I mean, yeah, I'd rather see like Cole and Grant go to the line running 7:45 than, Grant Fisher going running 7:20 by himself.
Right.
I just
Yeah.
you know
Exactly.
and also I don't think like also think about it from like if track is trying to grow as a sport, dude, telling someone that doesn't know very much about running like uh oh my God, they ran 7:20, that means nothing to them. But anyone can get behind a race where it's like two guys like going or a group of people going back and forth and like no one knows who's going to win. Like that's just exciting,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think
Yeah.
it needs to be way more about racing and less about times. I think track and field is in this weird spot right now where everyone is so damn good and the sport is like progressing so quickly that there's just so many records falling that I think, to your point, it's just causing people to get lost in the sauce.
Yeah. It is tough to, I mean, it's really cool, but it's also sometimes it's tough to follow. And so, yeah, I think I'm hoping Grand Slam will solve that at some point. Like me, I feel like they're too smart to get on our weekly Grand Slam tangent, but I feel like Grand Slam is too smart to be like, we're gonna let the East Africans, like whoever's involved, just like time trial every race. And so I
Yeah.
hope like Merber and Kyle John or geez, at least Michael Johnson will be like, we're gonna set this pacer on purpose to be slow, and then you guys just have to race off of that. I feel like that would happen in Grand Slam since it's so new. But yeah, going back to the Millrose, that I think, I mean, that race was I still think it's overrated. I mean, Cole ran really well, and then yeah, Grant beat him. But I mean, the race behind him, like you just named, like you said, four, three, five. I don't know how many guys that were all around like 7:29 to 7:31. Like that race was probably really good, but we didn't see it. So I think like the 3K was a little overrated in my opinion.
Yeah. Um, I think uh I thought I mean obviously I thought it was a crazy race. I think it just I mean Grant Fisher's range is like crazy. It'd be interesting to see like how well he would do if he like specifically trained for like a 5K or a 1500 and
Mm,
or I don't know. I just feel like I think the last week he basically just showed how good he was, but one of the things that I thought was actually really cool and I think also speaks to our point about this whole records thing. I saw an interview that was posted on like a short clip of an interview with Cole after his race, and he was talking about how his best case scenario was that he won and he ran 7:26. But the
yeah,
interesting thing was is that as he was like having this interview, he was kind of getting like choked up.
yeah, he was
And
crying.
yeah, he was like basically almost like yeah, crying. But I thought that really interesting part was he didn't give a fuck about the time. He just wanted to win.
Yeah.
So yeah, like if that doesn't tell you what you need to know, like these guys don't. I mean, yeah, they of course they want to run good times, and I'm sure for Graham Fisher being like, "Oh, I'm a world record holder," that's pretty cool. But at the end of the day, these guys really just want to win. If they can, run a world record, get a bonus. Obviously, that's like cherry on top. But yeah. Anyways, my favorite part about that race was probably seeing Cole Hawker's thing and just seeing how badly that guy wants to win.
Mm,
I thought that was pretty cool.
yeah, yeah.
Seeing how
I don't
much
think
that
they were
shit means to him.
Yeah, I don't think they were going for the world record necessarily. So that was not like I think they were going for the American record for sure, like
Yeah.
7:28. But like the mile with, I mean, Josh Kerr didn't run, but they were pacing it specifically for the world record. Like that was going to be an attempt. And so, yeah, I think that's a good example of that. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I couldn't imagine like putting it all out there and then realizing you're under the world record 3 seconds faster than you thought you could run, and then also still losing. Like that's fuck.
Yeah, tough. I would say for me, I didn't like get too much into like the hype around the track meet. Um, but I think like after watching the race and then seeing Cole's interview, I think I would say I don't know. It wasn't underrated or overrated for me. It was just kind of like right in the middle. Like it was like cool,
Yeah,
super cool race, and like I would take that like type of race like any day of the week, I guess. Like that was just a good
yeah.
race. All right. Any other thoughts, feelings, reactions on the 3K before we move on?
No, side note, it looked like they were serving beers inside of Millrose. I didn't know, or inside of the armory. I didn't know they do that, but that was
Uh,
cool.
I could definitely house a few beers and
Imagine
watch
if
some
we
track.
imagine if we got to have beers in Paris. That would have been sick, bro.
Dude,
That would have been a problem, actually.
can you imagine? Yeah, yeah, that would have been a problem.
A lot of people would have been a problem. It's probably very
Yeah.
responsible of Paris to not do that. But yeah, people were just
Dude,
housing beers at, I guess it was an afternoon race. So I was like, are these people holding like beers right now? It's like, yeah,
uh, that would
he's
be
watching
sick. I
track
mean,
with their
honestly, like,
beers.
why not? They serve beer at like most other
Hayward.
sporting events.
Yeah, and they
Yeah,
did at Hayward. So
yeah, they should. I
yeah.
mean, yeah, why not? Also, okay, I'll say this till the end. I have a just general thought on indoors. All right. Do you want to talk about the women's 800 meters? I didn't, to be honest, care too much about this
Yeah,
race.
I watched it. It was, yeah, I mean, yeah, nothing really crazy happened,
Nothing
I would
like
say.
crazy. Yeah, I don't even know the person that won or got second, really, to be honest. Kayla Edwards got third and two flat. Basically, everyone just ran two flat. So, all right, next one. Um, the next one was the women's 3K, which honestly was a good race. Whitney Morgan, talk about the week she's had. I mean,
Yeah,
she had a hell of a week, especially coming off a 5K running that. Um, Pretty impressive. 8:28 for the win. Took over Josette Andrews. She got second 8:29. Sarah Healy 8:30. for a national record for Ireland. Jess Hull sounds like she was sick. Also ran
Mm,
8:30, but was fourth. Um, Probably gonna butcher her name. Tiske Gebersalama, 8:33. Nozomi Tanaka, 8:33. Olivia Markacek, I think she had like 8:37. I would say that's like pretty damn good, like
yeah,
indoor debut.
yeah,
So, and then yeah, I don't know. I
yeah.
don't
That
need
was
to
a
read
good
through the
race.
rest.
Josette looked really good. I feel like she was hurt for a little bit and then getting back into it. So yeah, she looked really good. She took it with like a K to go, I think.
Yeah,
And then yeah, what's her name? Uh, Whitney, is that her name?
yeah, Whitney. Yeah, she
She
just ran
just
super
absolutely
tactical.
torched with like 300 to go. She was fully opened up. She looked like she was falling over. She was just ripping for the last, especially 200. So yeah, I mean, pretty good. I think, I mean, they ran like a second or like the same time as New Balance in New Balance Grand Prix last week. So I feel like I mean, 828 is pretty good, but I feel like it was slower than I thought it would be for that field, especially with Jessel. But I think, like you said, she was definitely sick last week, because she
Yeah,
didn't run the 3K or yeah, 3K last week. So I thought I was expecting a little more, but yeah, when you don't have like a pusher doing what Jessel normally does, yeah, I think it slides into the more kickers' hands, which I think those girls kind of kicked to sub 830. But yeah, it was a good race. It was really cool to watch.
yeah. It's always interesting, like watching someone like Jess Hull like get out kicked because I mean, I just don't I don't think that those other ladies probably if Jess is at 100% are ever gonna outkick her, but yeah, I mean overall pretty crazy race. It's crazy to me. Like one of the things I will say is like I think you mentioned this in the maybe it was the men's 3K too. Like I think Olivia Markchuk running 8:37 is like a really great indoor debut, like her first year as a pro, but it just gets so overshadowed because she gets seventh, you know,
Right.
and she's
Yeah.
like 10 seconds back, but I mean, really pretty good. I
Yeah.
would say, I mean, I think so. I
Yep.
mean, it's not like incredible, but it's still really solid.
Yeah. 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 Pretty good
So,
race. I would say pretty good race. That was a good watch.
yeah, I would say that one was probably underrated. I
Yeah, I'd
remember
say it's underrated.
when Sidious Mag was talking about it, I feel like the only people they really talked about was like Jess Hall when they were talking about that race, and then maybe like Nozomi Tanaka, but yeah, it seemed like
Tanaka,
they
baby, the tank. I nicknamed her the tank today. That girl races like something nuts like 30 times a year. She's a Grand Slam
yeah,
racer too.
yeah, yeah, no, she's really good. She ran a national record, 8:33.
So I
God,
think she was training in Boulder for a little bit last year, I'm pretty sure.
really?
But yeah, a Japanese team likes to come out to Boulder for a little bit. So I'm pretty sure she was there, but could be totally wrong. I don't know.
Yeah, there used to be a bunch of this is a super odd side tangent on that comment. But my next door neighbor was I don't know if I ever even told you this, Chuck. My next door neighbor was an Olympic marathoner, medalist. She got a silver medal in Sydney in the
Wow.
marathon. Yeah, she ran from
Huh.
Romania. Um,
Your
Her name
current
was
next door neighbor or the one growing up?
no, my growing up next door neighbor.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's the whole reason I pretty much got into running because she got my sister super into running because my sister was like, "Holy shit, this is pretty cool!" And then, of course, I kind of just got dragged along track meets, and then I started running. But yeah, they used to rent out their house because she would go to like training camps, and
Yeah.
it was always rented out by like Japanese racers that were
Wow.
coming in to train in Boulder. So, anyways, that's what that made me think of. So,
Nice.
yeah. Anyways, all right. Next race. I would say women's 3K, underrated. Whitney Morgan, if she keeps it going, she's gonna have a really, really great year. Also, one thing, okay, last side note comment on the 3K. I feel like it was not. talked about enough how Whitney Morgan was coming off like a knee injury and surgery last year, similar to Val's, but like I didn't
Yeah,
know that.
right.
So with how the year that she like the fact that even though she was like a late ad because Valby scratched in the five, um yeah, I mean this makes sense to me, right? Like she was coming off a tough year last year. She still had a really good year and she's probably been like healthy and consistent and now she's crushing it. Like that makes sense to me.
Yeah, yeah,
So shout out Whitney Morgan. I love that like just story in general of people coming back, but I'm biased because of Val. But all right, women's want to make her mile. Honestly, uh, I thought that was a pretty banger race.
yeah. It was a really good race from the start. No, nobody really went with the pacer, which is interesting because that pacer was just kind of like freaking out. She didn't know what to do, and then yeah, it was like really crazy kicking at the very end. And what's her name? Paris
Georgia Bell,
medalist, Georgia Bell.
yeah,
Yeah, Paris
Georgia
bronze, I think.
Bell, yeah, she was bronze. 4:23:35. Heather McLean, 4:23:41. Nikki Hiltz, 4:23:50. And then, yeah, dude, one of the things, yeah, I mean, obviously, crazy race by Georgia. She ran it super, like, really good tactical race, kicking at the right time. Heather McLean, though, I'm really impressed with, and I think if I was to make a way too early of a prediction for outdoors, I would put her on my 1500 team. Um,
Yeah, I think wasn't she was either hurt or she was trying to leave like the Coogan group or something. I think there was
no,
some
she's still with New
drama.
Balance Boston, I think, right?
Yeah, but I thought she was either trying to leave or she was hurt or I don't know. But yeah, I feel like she was kind of going through it. Maybe she was hurt, but
I think
yeah,
she
I
was
mean,
hurt. I think she was hurt. I haven't heard anything about, well, not that I would hear anything about that, but I
I feel
remember her
like I
being
thought she
hurt.
was trying to join like Mike Smith out here, but maybe that's someone else. I don't know. Because she was like that group was out in Flagstaff, so maybe that's what we're here. I don't know. I could just be totally making it up right now.
Yeah, but she seems like she's back and um yeah, really really positive start to the year for her. She ran back-to-back weeks running 4:23. I mean, obviously like there's other people like, Elise ran 4:20 and Shelby ran 4:20, but
Yeah,
still running back-to-back 4:23s, taking a win and then a really close second place. Yeah, she looks great. Nikki Hiltz, I was surprised that they didn't win, to be honest.
yeah,
I
that,
I
yeah,
figured I figured that yeah that Nikki was gonna win, but
yeah.
so
I think the narrative around Nikki is very strong right now. So yeah, I think I mean it's also the same thing with Grand Slam, like they're a Grand Slam racer. So I think pumping the brakes a little bit on indoors is a good idea. But yeah, I mean, I was a little bit surprised. I think they had more of a kicker than it seemed. It seemed like they were coming on pretty hard at the very end, but uh, ye- that's a crazy line to say. They were
what?
coming on pretty hard at the end. Um, but
Well,
yeah, I think I also thought Nikki would win if um yeah I thought Nikki would win because Rudy Bell didn't look great last week, but yeah, you can't sleep on Heather McLean in a mile, I guess. And even it was just like a really weird race. Like there was like tripping and kind of shoving. It was very boxed around people. Yeah.
yeah, no, really good race. Yeah, Sinclair Johnson. I mean,
Yeah, Sinclair ran well.
they had five five women run 4:23. I mean, that's insane.
Yeah,
Well,
really
I don't know.
close.
Yeah, really, really close. So,
Oh, Perrier
yeah,
though, very happy to see nobody go with the Pacers. She just gets to chill and be pregnant right now, but also carry on her American record for another year.
dude, yeah, that was one of the things that they were talking about on the Citius Mag part was that while, and what we were talking about earlier, it's like while watching Ellie run these like crazy fast times, because last year she ran like 8:20 there and ran the record. It's like crazy fast, but it's more exciting to have competitive races. But yeah,
Mhm.
Ellie's insane. Her times are fucked that she's run at the Armory. So yeah, I thought that was a really good race. All right, last one. Men's Wanamaker mile. Yared Naguse, world record, 346.
WR.
Dude,
Yeah.
insane. Hobbs Kessler looked like maybe he was gonna
Yeah, I
take him
thought
with a
Haas was
lap
gonna
to
try to pull
go.
it out. Yeah. But it's all I
Yeah,
think it's also really hard to get around yard on a 200 indoor track because he's so tall and lanky. But yeah, Hobbs looked good, much better compared to the 3K last week. But yeah, yard looks really good. World record might be potential. I mean, he got the world record bonus from I'm sure his contract in the Armory, but might be Jakob's going for the world record next week, so could potentially be the shortest world record of all time. I guess not of all time, but one of the shortest held world records if Jakob really goes for it. And I feel like Jakob could run quicker than that because he ran like I mean they all ran faster than that outdoors, so I feel like Jakob could run at least 346. So but yeah, pretty good
yeah,
race. I mean, obviously, really good race from Yard. He was stoked.
yeah. No, he was. I saw an interview where they asked him, "What are you gonna do with like the 25 grand bonus that you got for?" And he was like, "I don't know,
Yeah,
probably put it towards buying a house." I was like, "Good,
yeah,
good man."
yeah. Nice.
Um, yeah, Cam Myers, how old is that kid from Australia?
20. Yeah, he's
347.
20 or he's
Dude,
18
what
or
the
20. I
fuck?
think could be 19.
Dude,
Yeah, really
that's
fast.
fucking insane. And then um not to skip over fourth, but fifth, Gary Martin, Virginia 348 collegiate.
Yeah, almost ran a NCAA record. Nobody really noticed.
Dude, that was I think that was probably if I don't want to say obviously the Wanamaker miles ne wouldn't like never underrated, but that was probably the
It
most
was
slept
very
on
underrated.
performance.
Yeah,
I mean, I
yeah,
don't know. I
because
guess Cam Myers is probably younger than that guy, but still.
yeah, I mean, last
Yeah.
year or last week, I feel when Ethan Woody was just saying this, when Ethan Strand ran 348, people were like, we have the next like American com or like top competition, like we have our next stud, we have our next American hope, and then yeah, Gary Martin almost just ran his way to a fifth place American record, like or NCAA record. It's like, wow, this is crazy.
Yeah, dude, it's just insane how like fast people are. Like the crazy part is that you could put a really good pro, not like a Cole Hawker, but like another really competitive like miler into like a collegiate race, and they could just get fucking sauced by
Yeah,
by some collegiate.
that's
So
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
great. That was a good race. Jared is yeah, continuing on it with his form. It would have been cool to see. It would have been really cool to see Josh Kerr in that race to see how competitive it would have been.
Yeah,
But
yeah, he got sick, got the I heard he was hurt. Someone said he was hurt, but yeah, either way, it sucks that he had to back out because I think I mean historically he ran the world record in the 2 mile there last year. He normally runs pretty crazy at Millrose, so it would have been really interesting to see how that race would have played out.
yeah, I wonder like I mean, this would just be fascinating to me, but like knowing how much Yared made off that one race, I would love to know that.
Man, yeah, it'd be and like yeah, it'd be pretty crazy because he made 25K just off of Millrose, and so who knows what his OAC and like on and
Yeah, no,
off
yeah,
of like
25.
3.5 minutes.
Yeah, it was probably, I mean, I bet it was probably in the ballpark of like 100 Gs.
Oh, for sure. A world record? I bet that, yeah, I mean,
Well, the thing I was wondering about is like, I wonder in contracts if indoor world records are not weighted the same as like outdoor world records,
probably.
which I just don't
Or
know.
probably
Like,
not. Yeah, probably not. But still, it's probably not like half. It's probably like 75% or something because it's still a world record. Like it's still the world
yeah,
records indoors are not soft, but yeah, it's not as crazy.
yeah. But yeah, he crushed it. Hobbs Kessler is just, dude, I feel like Hobbs Kessler is just, I mean, obviously he's an Olympian stud, but he's like so close to like breaking through and like being like the main guy, but he's just like always right. He's like he's knocking on the door. Um, but I think it's gonna happen. I mean, the crazy thing is Hobbs Kessler could be he could be like super relevant for like the next like 10 years on the
Yeah, he's
track.
21 years old.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, dude, fuck.
Yeah,
How old? Yeah, shit. I didn't even think about that. There's so many young kids running sub 350. Jesus.
yeah. I'm pretty sure Hobbs owns a house in the neighborhood that I'm staying in too. So yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, let's talk about the pay disparity of top
Yeah.
runners, top runners, and then yeah. Anyways, all right.
Buying a house when you're 21 versus
Being able to hopefully pay rent.
splitting a podcast subscription.
Hey, hey, hey.
It's
I'm
50-50. It's teamwork here.
yeah, yeah. You gotta get by with a little help from my
Yeah,
friends.
yeah, yeah. But no, Millrose, I mean, that was it, it was definitely really good. It's cool that it was like 2 hours, and even the sprint events were pretty good. The 800s was pretty good, but
Yeah,
yeah, it was a good watch. And then yeah, pretty much led into like UFC is going on tonight. Sean Strickland and Dricus are fighting, and
can I
Wiley
say
or
one more
Zon.
thing about track before we go on to
Yeah,
UFC?
I forgot we're running podcast.
Yeah, we are running podcasts. Let's stop pretending. I think watching like Millrose is a real like, dude, consistent indoor track meets that are competitive would be really sick. Like, I mean, maybe this is like way too far out there and maybe not financially possible, or maybe racers wouldn't be that interested. But if uh back on our Grand Slam track tangent, if they could
Yeah,
like make some like indoor races, like I think that would be really sick. Because I think indoor racing is really fucking cool, especially in that like close environment. I also think, honestly, probably from a broadcasting perspective, for like most people, it's way more interesting, you know?
yeah, yeah. I feel like you can pack a lot in to indoor track because like you
Yeah.
don't have the 10K, you don't really have many 5Ks going on, and it's like pretty centralized, pretty quick. But yeah, I think they've tried like the World Tour. I guess you just have like different label meets, but yeah, I think it would be cool. It's just like where would you have it? That would be fair because like Boston is the best track, and Millrose, I know for a fact Millrose has shit going on like every single day. It's like there's just so few state-of-the-art indoor tracks. I guess there's more now in the US. Like there's that new one in Spokane, and there's that new Ocean Breeze one in like New York or whatever. So yeah, I guess it could be doable, but I feel like
You could do like three or four, like
yeah,
you could do three or four really, really good ones. And even if you just did like, I mean, maybe I'm biased, but I think you could have like three or four banger, just even just distance meets indoor. I mean, even think about it, like you had New Balance last week, which was pretty good. I think obviously Millrose is better, but then Millrose, and then I mean, you could just take one of the Boston meets, but if you just put a little more emphasis around it, you have right there three banger meets, you know?
sure. Yeah, that's true.
So, anyways, all right. Anyways, I think indoor racing is really cool. I wish there was just more of an emphasis around it and more incentive for people to do it. But I mean, also, I think with outdoor being so much technically more important, it's one of those things where I think it's hard to fully get everyone bought in, and justifiably so. So,
Yeah,
anyways,
I
all
agree.
right.
Yeah.
All right, I'm done. Now we're off our running podcast piece. So
Yeah,
let's
no
talk
no
about
more
the UFC, baby.
UFC, or we could talk about the K truck update, or we can check
Oh, I'll
into
I'll do a
if
quick
we
K
have
truck update.
any listener questions. I hope we have one, but I'm sure we don't because
No, we don't because we
listeners
didn't
just
post
want to
anything
listen.
about it.
They just
We
want to
didn't
use
post
us.
anything.
True.
Um uh so the K truck update is that the purchase has not been finalized. It's still pending. It's a little bit of an odd situation because I'm buying it, like I'm communicating with the realtor that's buying a house from the individual. But I got an update today, and I literally texted the guy this morning or this afternoon. I said, any update from the seller? He said, no, sir, this guy's slow. He said that he is waiting for a special bolt that he had ordered to fix the exhaust to get here before he moved forward. Wants to make sure everything is good for you. So
The
hopefully
one
there's no
bolt,
other missing bolts. But
just one
yeah,
bolt has to get shipped all the way from Japan.
yeah, I'm like a little nervous that he's gonna be like, all right, it's ready to go. Like, when can you come pick it up? And it's like, I fucking have to schedule a moving truck, or, like a truck to come pick it up. So I don't know. Anyways, but yeah, it still looks like it's gonna happen. Or like halfway through this week,
Nice.
I was kind of like, starting to get a little bit like because I literally haven't heard anything since last weekend. So I was kind of like, oh,
Yeah,
maybe it won't happen. But based on that message today, it sounds like it's still going to happen. But yeah, it's just a little bit weird because it's a little bit of like a game of telephone because I'm not talking directly with the seller. So
right.
I don't really know for sure. But at the end of the day, it's a 2 grand truck's miniature
True. Yeah, I've
Japanese
seen.
truck.
I saw that one I sent you a picture of, and then I saw one driving around today. So I've seen at least two, possibly three, just in the last week. So maybe K trucks are a lot more popular than I thought. But even just seeing those things, bro, I was like, man, I cannot believe that. I
Dude, it's
cannot
gonna be
believe there's
sick.
gonna be a night where we're driving the K truck to Chipotle. It's gonna be such a problem.
Dude, we should do a podcast on the in the K truck or on the
We
back of the K
should
truck.
on the
Yeah.
back of the K truck, our first live podcast. That's something too. I forgot to tell you, my mom, like I said, she's been listening a lot, and it was her birthday this past week. Shout out, mom. And I called her, and she would give me feedback. She wants us to have like a live podcast where you can like send in questions, and that would be pretty much like YouTube or Instagram Live, but
Oh,
that would be pretty crazy.
dude. Um, yeah, I mean, honestly, like we could totally just live stream a podcast. You literally just turn on
Yeah,
Instagram Live and just like record it. I mean, if you wanted to,
yeah. I feel like
it'd
that
be
would
very
be
easy
pretty
to
sick.
do. Yeah, we should totally do
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
yeah. That just a mom idea.
Yeah, I was there. I saw this guy on TikTok like live streaming while I was running on the treadmill. And I was like, Val, you should start live
Nice.
streaming your treadmill runs.
Let's
So
go. That would
you
be
can kind of
sick.
live stream anything, dude. It's actually kind of
Yeah, I
crazy.
feel
You
like
see, yeah, go ahead.
I was just saying, I feel like a lot like you don't really realize, and I'm sure that guy live streaming might not make a lot of money, but he also could just make a shit ton of money just like chatting
I
on
mean,
Twitch.
well, but think about it this way, right? Like if you got on a treadmill and turned on your like phone to record your run the whole time, and like people were like chatting with you like through like your like TikTok
Yeah,
or Twitch chat and like you made like 20 bucks, I'd be like, yeah, fucking why not? Like I'll make 20 bucks to go for a run. Like that's I
true.
don't know. Yeah. Anyways, but yeah, you see all those like crazy live streams where these guys just like turn on their phones while they're like logging in like Alaska and you're just like it's like yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of interesting. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
People just watch whatever. That's like it's crazy.
Maybe that'll be the next wave. Just a bunch of live streaming runners. That'd be funny.
Yeah, just live streaming just me on the tread, just duking it
Dude,
out, seven
we
minute
should
pace.
we should honestly, what'd be really cool is live streaming like with a guest. Like if we do a live stream of a podcast with a guest
Yeah,
and
that would be sick.
because then we could collab because I think you can basically do anyways, we could figure it out, but that would be cool.
That would be really cool. Yeah, shout
Yeah.
out or not shout out, but I want to hear from the fucking listeners because I say every week I want to hear from the listeners and no one says shit. So you're making me mad now, and I want to hear from the fucking listeners because I'm so tired. I'm telling,
If
I'm saying the same thing every week. I want to hear because I can see you motherfuckers listen to this. So you're gonna make me angry. You need to show some life here and pull your weight, damn it.
All right. Well, I have something. It's not something that someone wrote in, but our friend Emery, who is a consistent listener, shout out Emery. I know she's going to listen to this. She said that we should have a jingle, like a bro, hear me out jingle. Um,
Wow, we should have just
so
recorded what I did last week. That would have been our jingle.
bro, hear me out. Yeah,
Yeah,
that would be funny to get a jingle. Although then it would make our editing process a little bit longer because we couldn't
that
just
would,
like
yeah,
just
just
straight up
upload it.
upload the file. So yeah, but no, that would be cool. I wonder if we can get ChatGPT to create us a jingle.
That would be crazy. And just add it to the beginning of everything. It would be cool if it like faded in and we actually had some organization behind it. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, my hope is like my goal is that we keep doing this long enough that aspects of our podcast get better. Like we get better recording equipment at some point
Yeah,
and we have more guests on. Like, we mentioned earlier that we could probably do better marketing, like better
yeah,
marketing on Instagram. Like, hopefully, and I think that if we do it consistently enough, that stuff will probably just hopefully happen over time. But
yeah. True, 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 true. Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
listeners. I want to offer a formal apologize. I didn't mean to drop that many F-bombs on you, but I do
Yeah.
want some more participation from the listeners because it's getting a little sad boy out here. I can literally see the analytics. I see people are listening. Just please, 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 just throw me a bone and ask a question. I just want a segment that's just like, oh, listener questions. Let's take up 30 minutes of the show.
Well, yeah, Charlie, please don't F-bomb out like our two listeners. Come on, dude. But yeah, no, that would be sick. It would be really cool. It would be what would be really cool, honestly, since this is becoming a running podcast, is we could totally have people ask interesting things about like the running. I mean, it could be about anything, but about
Yeah,
like the running world and we could like talk about it. That would be fun. But it will
yeah,
happen.
yeah,
It will happen. But
yeah.
yeah,
It'll happen.
if you guys have questions, go follow us on bro underscore hear me out on Instagram. Shoot us a DM. Give us some shit to talk about. Other
Leave a
than
comment. Val's been leaving comments. I see Val's comments on Spotify. Those are cool. We have five-star ratings on Spotify, so I
yeah,
feel
go
like I
leave us
just
a
totally
rating.
I flipped the switch here. But yeah, the ratings are kind of going crazy. Um, yeah,
Uh,
this can be the segment for this week since there's no listener questions. Let's see. Let's take a deep dive into the Bro Hear Me Out analytics. So let's see where let's have our
See
listeners
where we're
front and
at,
center here. Let's see how our analytics are looking, see our distribution, see where people are listening from. So
bro.
get you guys a little involved here. So last 90 days, let's do last 30 days, last month. So we've got people listening. If you hear your city, leave a 5-star review or a comment. We've got Denver, Charlottesville. I'm assuming, yeah, East Coast, Charlottesville, Carbondale, Colorado, Boulder, Moneta, not sure where that is. Glenwood Springs, Vegas, shout out Vegas, Atlanta, Georgia. Wondering if
Yo, is
that's
that
if
Ahmed? Is that Ahmed? No, wait. No, he lives in North Carolina. Shit. Never
no,
mind.
South Carolina, I'm pretty sure,
South
right?
Carolina, South Carolina.
It
Yeah,
could
yeah,
be
yeah.
though. I think I'm not sure where like might be where you registered your Spotify account, but Atlanta, Annapolis, which is in Maryland, Chesapeake Beach, which is in Maryland. Shout out homies that I probably grew up with, maybe. Dallas, Texas, Annandale, not sure where that is. Flagstaff, shout out to people in Flagstaff. Huntingtown, that's also in Maryland. Hyattsville, I think that's in Maryland or Virginia. Lesby, that's in Maryland. Wow, St. Charles, that's in Maryland. Dang, I'm taking up putting the team on my back here. Raymond, I don't know where Raymond is. Cleveland, Alexandria, also Maryland. Arlington, Virginia, close enough.
I have some
Ashburn, North.
coworkers who might, I don't know how many coworkers, but a lot of the coworkers are up on the East Coast. Because Clivio's
Who
based out
we
of
got?
Boston.
Okay. Oh, true. Okay. Falls Church, Virginia, Pittsburgh, Green Creek, not sure where that is. San Jose, Arvada, Loveland, Toronto, International. We went international
Yo,
again,
bro,
Canada,
hear me out has gone international. Let's
and
go.
Santan Valley, Arizona. I'm almost positive Santan Valley is Rubis. So Rubis, if you're listening, shout out Rubis. And then yeah, in the life of the podcast, you've had people listening in Germany. Shout out the people in Saarbrücken, Germany. We need you back. Finland, Helsinki, we need you guys back. Let's see where else. Morocco, more Germany and Ireland. We went international pretty early on, so we need those people back. But yeah, drop a DM or wherever. Just let us know where you're listening from, and yeah, that would be cool. But yeah, it's cool to look at that stuff and see that it's not just like Colorado or people we know. It's like places I've either never heard of or probably couldn't exactly place who's listening in that area, but they're out there.
Yeah. I mean, the biggest thing for getting like more people to listen, more people to like, send us questions, everything is just we just got to keep uploading and be consistent.
Keep
Try
pumping
to
it out, baby.
try to minimize the number of breaks that extended
Number of
breaks that
breaks,
we have.
number of tangents, number of times Riley calls our listeners motherfuckers.
Yeah. All right. Dude, there's only two fights left on the card. It's just Weili Zhang and Tatiana
Nice.
Suarez and Dricus Duplessis versus Sean Strickland. I think they are seriously sleeping on Sean Strickland with the betting odds. It's kind of
Yeah,
disrespectful. I'm not gonna lie.
you think?
Well, I mean, I know that Drickus fucked up Izzy, but like Izzy's been getting fucked up by everybody. So
But that's also like the last person that Sean's really beaten too.
I don't think he's. Yeah, I mean, he hasn't fought since his last Drickus fight, right?
And he
Or
lost
did
to Paulo Costa,
who?
didn't he? Or did he beat who did Paulo Costa just lose for fight? Or was that Izzy? Or Dracus? I don't
Uh,
know.
well, yeah, maybe he has fought. Did he fight Paulo Costa? He definitely won.
People are, yeah, it's just funny because people keep making fun of Sean. All of my stream, it's a good thing I'm not there because all of my streaming services that I use got taken down. People keep making fun of Sean Strickland because he's in his interviews, he's like the last three fights, he's like, yeah, to the death, I'll fight until I die. And then it's like 5 round decision. Like, you're not fighting until you die. You're just going to a decision. They're like, okay, bro.
He's kind of a, I mean, I think Sean Strickland is like one of those guys that you just can't read into anything he says too much and just kind of like laugh because it is genuinely, he says a lot of stupid ass shit, but he is pretty fucking hilarious.
Yeah, he does
Um,
say some stupid shit.
but he like, did you see that he was defending Bryce Hall or what Bryce, not Bryce Hall, Bryce, what the fuck is his name? The guy that said all that crazy ass shit about fucking
Oh
Hitler.
yeah, I can't remember. Yeah, I can't remember who what his both names were, but
Bryce, fuck, what is his name? All right, the wheels are falling off right now, Charlie.
was it Bryce
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 Mitchell, Bryce Mitchell, Bryce Mitchell.
Mitchell? I thought it was
Shout
Miller.
out.
Yeah,
I
Mitchell.
mean, getting into the podcast game and just quickly going into your conspiracy theories is insane, especially when you have a platform that big. Um,
Yeah.
Although I will say one thing that I thought was really interesting. It was actually one of the smarter things that I think I've ever heard Sean Strickland say. I
Mhm.
saw an interview about, or it was, yeah, it was like in one of the press conferences. He talked about Bryce Mitchell, about all that horrible shit he said.
Yeah.
And one of, if you took out a lot of the other dumb shit that Sean said, one of the things that he said was, "This is a good example of how easily it is to get radicalized in something."
Yeah. True.
Anyways, I think that was kind of a good point. Like, especially, maybe if you grew up in places where education wasn't the best. But anyways, not to get political by any means, but I just thought that was an interesting take on that whole thing. If anyone doesn't know, we don't really need to talk about it, but Bryce Mitchell is a UFC fighter that's been pretty popular. He started a podcast pretty recently and said some really terrible shit, and has gotten a lot of heat, rightfully so. So,
Yeah.
anyways,
Yeah. I think I have $10 on Zhang Weili, so
do you
hoping she
really?
pulls through. Yeah, and then
I
maybe that
I
would
just
cash
put
out for
$10 on Sean Strickland as we were talking.
nice. If
I
I cash out on her, I would put that cash out on Dreykus and then hopefully take that
You
full
would put
cash
the
out
whole
and
the whole thing on Dreykus? You
all
fucking
$22. Yeah, I would put on Dreykus and then I would win with Dreykus and then I'd put all that cash out on the Chiefs tomorrow because I think the Chiefs are gonna win.
dude. I can't deal with you betting on the Chiefs right
As a
now.
response as a responsible bettor, I think the Chiefs are gonna win.
Dude, fuck that. I'm not I refuse. And this is my problem. This is why I will always be like even or slightly negative on bets is because on things that I actually really care about, I can never bet like
Yeah,
unbiasedly. I can't. I mean, we do this shit all the time when we bet on fights. Is we bet on the people that we want to win, and then but we kind of in the back of our head like, yeah, I don't know. Like, Izzy's probably gonna get fucking knocked out by Pereira, and then he does, and then we're like, God damn it.
yeah.
So
But yeah,
yeah,
that's my betting plan. That's my lineup right now. So ride with me right now. Drop that pick. Although this is going to be posted on Monday, so it doesn't really matter.
why don't you just
So
put together that parlay? Why don't you just put together the Weili Zhang, Dricus Duplessis, and then Chiefs weekend
Chiefs.
parlay, dude? That would be
I don't know if
crazy.
you
I bet
can
the odds on
can you
that would be
cross
crazy. Yeah, you can totally
can
cross. Yeah,
you
you
can
can.
cross sports like that?
Yeah, here, hold on. I'll build it right now. I bet it's I bet the
The
odds on it
Chiefs to
are.
win. Yeah, just the Chiefs to win outright.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow, it's much more even. Wow, plus
It's
504, bro.
plus 504. Do it. Do it. Do it. Put your
Maybe
money
I'll
where
do
your
I
mouth
would
is.
I would do it. I want to win first. So I would do it if Zhang Wei Li wins, then I'll do that
That's
parlay
not
with
the point of a
Drakus and that
parlay,
is the point.
Charlie.
That's still Drakus and the Chiefs both winning. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
That's a multi-day parlay. That's when you kind of know you're down bad.
yeah, don't
Your
do that
parlay
shit.
is spanning
That is how
multiple
you
days.
lose. Parlays never, I mean, yeah, parlays are so hard to hit. That's why they let you do it.
So you think the Eagles are gonna win? Legitimately, you think
I
they're gonna
I
win?
I legitimately think that if they play like they did against the Commanders, I think that they have a real shot. I think
Yeah.
to your point, I think that the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl are really hard to beat, especially if they get some assistance from the refs, which hopefully they don't. Like again, I I I just don't want there to be any sketchy like questionable calls. I
Yeah.
can I can digest that stuff so much better if it just doesn't feel like the refs interfered with the game. So hopefully if the Chiefs do win, it's just, they rightfully deserve to win.
Mhm.
But I do think I would really love to see Saquon Barkley win. I really like Jalen Hurts. I think that guy's fucking insanely good. And he's kind of
Yeah.
gotten a lot of shit over the last year, especially after last season. So yeah,
I
I
think
mean, I
he's
would
also a
really,
little hurt.
yeah, he did mess up his knee in like the second or their first playoff game or whatever it was. So,
Yeah. Josh
but
Allen MVP though. I think I said that on the podcast a couple weeks ago.
yeah, he did win, which is kind of crazy that they picked him over Lamar Jackson. But
Yeah, Lamar was playing crazy. I think Lamar didn't get picked because the first half of every single game Lamar plays, he forgets he's playing football. And then the second half, he's just like crazy, so good. But it's
yeah,
like, yeah, that was like when Elise and I first started watching football together because she was doing fantasy. She was like, why is Lamar Jackson so bad in the first half? I was like, this is what he does. He just forgets. He just like gets a little too high before the game and then it wears off at halftime. And then he's like, oh yeah, I'm really good at football. And then we just win.
yeah, yeah. Dude, Josh Allen. Well, like one thing I would say on Josh Allen too is it's got to be so tough getting that award because it's got to feel like such a consolation prize,
Yeah, true. Yeah.
just
Would you
getting
rather have the
shat.
MVP or
Oh,
yeah,
dude,
kicked out of the playoffs?
I would be absolutely shocked if Josh Allen, like, if he was posed that question, would be like, yeah, I mean, obviously, I'd rather be in the fucking Super Bowl.
I wonder,
So,
yeah, yeah, true. The bonus is not that everything's financial, but the bonus of being Super Bowl MVP or like winning the Super Bowl or just MVP is probably pretty nuts.
dude,
Gotta add a couple zeros.
I cannot even imagine what the quarterback bonuses are on winning Super Bowls. It's probably insane.
Yeah,
Like,
it's probably legitimately add figures, like add a zero to whatever his MVP bonus is, which is probably already 500K or something.
well, dude, I mean, think about it. Like, these guys are making like all these, franchise quarterbacks are making like 50 plus $1 million a year. So
Yeah,
I'm
jeez,
sure it's like 1 to 10 mil probably, and just in
nuts.
a straight bonus. I mean, it could be more. Who knows? I mean, we don't know
Yeah,
that. We know more about like running stuff than we do about football contracts.
which
But
obviously isn't much either.
yeah, yeah. So, but yeah, I do think that the Eagles have a really good shot at winning, and I hope that they can. I just would really love to not see the Chiefs win, but I mean, I guess
Yeah.
like 10 years down the road when all those guys are retired, it would be pretty cool for them to
Okay, so
have been as successful as they are.
drop your score prediction.
Score prediction. I hope it's a close game, even though I really want the Chiefs to lose. I hope it's a close game because I want it to be exciting. So I'll go 30 Eagles to the Chiefs 27.
Dang, you're pretty good. I was gonna go Chiefs 31, Eagles 21. Four touchdowns and a field goal for the Chiefs. Eagles are gonna have three touchdowns.
I don't like that you're trying to get the Chiefs or you're betting on the Chiefs, but anyways. All right. Yeah. Um Okay. And then we already talked about UFC. So you think Duplessis is gonna beat him?
Yep. Yeah, he looked really good this week, I thought.
What, just like the UFC embedded stuff?
Yeah, that's how I make a lot of my judgments.
Fair enough.
He just looks better. I think he's just like really good. He's like he's riding with the whole villain thing, which yeah, I just think Sean is like the last person that I think that he really beat was Izzy, and is like then Izzy's lost, like you said last week, 2 or 3 times. So yeah, I think he's
I do think Sean beat Dricus the first time around. I think Dricus looked way better against Izzy, and I think that is mo far more convincing to me that he could beat Sean tonight is because he like Strickland beat Izzy, but like Dricus like slammed Izzy. Like
right.
like it was there was no question who won. I mean, obviously won that fight. So
Yeah, I would
yeah,
love to see Drake. Yeah, Drake is submit Sean Strickland. I think that would be sick. That's
yeah.
my that'd be
And I
sweet.
don't know. I want to live in a world where Sean Strickland can be UFC champion. It was great the first time around. I loved all the Instagram reel edits I got of
True.
Sean Strickland saying some dumb shit and then like starching people on my Instagram page. So yeah, I want to get back to that. But yeah, that hopefully it's just a good fight. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
All right.
I'm
Anything
sure it'll
else?
be
You
a
got
good fight.
anything
It's
else?
5 rounds, 5 rounds, but um,
Yeah, 5 rounds. Yeah, yeah. 5 round. I feel like
yeah.
3 rounds is consistent. Like in good fights, I feel like there should be more 5 round fights. That's the last thing I'll say in the UFC. Because I feel
Mm,
like when there's really good fights, you're like, man, this is only 3 rounds. Kind of sucks. So
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I don't know if you watched the UFC YouTube channel, but whoever's in charge of that is going crazy. Like they drop a lot of good like I spent all of last night, Friday night, watching is 90 minutes of best first round
Dude,
finishes in
why
UFC
the
history.
fuck did you go buy an Xbox? Holy shit. You're just sitting there watching like UFC montages,
Because
you
it's
nerd.
cool.
No, I mean I
Way
agree
better
it
than
is
buying an
cool.
Xbox.
That's
Yeah,
funny.
so whoever's doing that is killing it. But yeah, I mean it's just there's been some crazy like you just forget sometimes. A lot of it is like more recent stuff because I feel like the UFC's been crazy, but you forget sometimes of like early 2000s of like the UFC used to be absolutely crazy and there's blood everywhere. It's like some of that stuff, and people are like, actually, I feel like, I mean, I hate it. I hate watching like the arm bars that you actually snap someone's arm, but like
Oh, fuck that.
there's a
No.
couple of those. I feel like you don't really see that anymore because people are more safe and like they look out for each other more. But back in the day, bro, UFC, people would give zero fucks and they were just snapping each other's arms. And it's like, dude, this is crazy.
Dude, earlier tonight, Val was saying, because we were watching the prelims on ESPN Plus, and she was like, I think my like nightmare way to die is like by a rear naked choke. And I was like, I would so much rather die from a rear naked choke than someone snap my fucking arm or like
Because I
knee
didn't
bar
tap
me,
out
dude.
soon enough. Yeah.
Dude, like the knee bar shit. Oh my God. Can you
Yeah, you can
imagine?
probably
I think I'd rather die from a rear naked choke than like what like be in a position and someone just snap my shit in half. I'd be like, oh.
just
So
be yeah, fully awake for it too. Oh, that'd be
no,
messed up.
God.
Feel
Fuck.
every ligament tear.
Or you could just be like Tony Ferguson and your shit just like bends. Just
Yeah,
like doesn't break. Just like
it just
people
doesn't
are
matter.
talking on, they're like, this thing's not gonna go, huh? So yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck. Yeah, that shit is gnarly. It's also crazy too. Like I don't know how often you think about this, but did like there's been a couple really bad leg breaks in the
Mm,
UFC.
yeah,
Dude, that stuff is freaky. Like I'm just
that stuff
waiting
is
for that to
gross.
happen again. It's yeah, like ugh.
Yeah, I feel like it
Anyways.
happened more in the NFL this year with like what was that
Dude,
guy's
it
name? Man,
did.
the
No, there's
Lions
tons of
defensive
people.
end.
Yeah, that guy. There's multiple people. One of the Houston guys.
Aiden Hutchinson. Aiden Hutchinson was his name.
Yeah, Aiden
Yeah.
Hutchinson on the Lions, and then there was one of the Texans like star receivers, like
Yeah.
fucked up his knee really horribly.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
I feel like
it's
there was other ones
gross.
that we're not thinking of, but yeah, those are super nasty. I mean, dude, if you think about it, like
those are more like freak accidents versus like the UFC is still freak accidents, but those guys are so skilled that they know how to like
Yeah.
fall for sure and like check picks so they don't snap their legs. But yeah, when it does happen, I mean, it is just like totally graphic because it's just like, I mean, you're just kicking someone's shin is kicking as hard as they can into your shin. If you don't like, if it hits the wrong spot, then it's just like that's what happened to Connor that one time when he like snapped his leg. It was like it was already kind of like a little bit hurt, and then yeah, Dustin Poirier just like kicked the shit out of it a couple of times, and it just snapped in half. It's like, dude, so messed up.
Dude, yeah, speaking of Conor McGregor, the fall off of Conor McGregor needs to be studied. Oh my God. That
My
guy
dad
was
got me a
so
Conor McGregor, or I guess my parents got me a Conor McGregor shirt for Christmas that I was supposed to wear watching UFC with you, and we haven't watched UFC in person yet, but this shirt is sick. I'm excited to wear it this summer.
nice. Yeah, we gotta watch a UFC card when you get back. There'll probably be one more before you get back?
One or two. I think it's every 3 to 4 weeks. So yeah, maybe one or two. Or yeah,
Yeah, one.
maybe yeah, one or two. Yeah.
Yeah, because what, you're gonna be there till middle of March?
Yeah, probably the third week of March, like right after, yeah, like the 10K, I think. So it's like March 26th. I think I'll be home
Oh,
before
Jesus.
April. Yeah.
That's longer than I thought. That's basically like all of March. So
All winter, baby. I'm a
yeah,
snow.
well,
What do they call those things?
a snow bunny. You're a snow
snow bunny.
bunny. You're a
Yeah.
cute little snow
I
bunny.
go to Flagstaff for, but I'm a still a snow bunny. I'm going to
Yeah.
Phoenix tomorrow, actually. So yeah,
For a track workout? Oh no, you're picking up a lease.
no, I'll pick up a lease. Yeah, I just dip into Phoenix real quick and dip out. And there's nothing going on in Phoenix, but
How far is that drive?
like depends how fast you're going. It's like an hour and 45.
Okay.
It's not bad, but you can fly because it's literally just a straight shot. But there's a lot of cops on it. But yeah, yeah, it's like 75 in Phoenix right now. That's one of the places that's just also around is like my massage guy that I went to who's lived in Flag for a while. He used to live in Phoenix, and he just like basically when it hits April in Phoenix, the low gets to like 100 degrees. So it never goes under 100 degrees. It's like, dude, what do you even
There's no
do?
way
It's
that's
like
true.
not in
Really?
April, but like in into the summer, like June. He's like, once it hits April, it starts to get 100 degrees, and then like
Oh, okay,
June,
okay.
July, the low is 100 degrees, and it never goes below. It's like I truly think there are just places on this earth that humans are not supposed to live, and like Phoenix, Phoenix is one of them. Like he's just not supposed to be there.
Yeah, no, that
Any
shit
place that the low
is
doesn't get up below triple digits, like I don't know. At least in Boulder, Boulder gets pretty hot, and even the East Coast gets pretty hot. But like it cools down overnight, and like I feel like even in Florida, it cools down over like some hot places. It cools down overnight. I couldn't imagine being just in a place where it's like 115 during the day, and then it's like, oh, the sun went down. Let's go out and get drinks at like a bar or something. It's like, wait, we can't do that because it's still 100 degrees. It's just crazy.
yeah, dude, that would be so unenjoyable. I mean, our house, we don't have like we have a air conditioner, but it's not like throughout the whole house. It's just like one of those like units that you have that you can set up in like one room. But
Yeah.
yeah, dude, that would be so unenjoyable. I can't even imagine.
Yeah, I
So,
mean, I feel like most of those people have just houses in Flagstaff or somewhere else. They just like I'm sure Phoenix in the summer is as it should be, just a ghost town because it's just a fucking desert. But like, there's got to be people that just live there year round that just like just stay inside all day, and they're just oh man, it's like the opposite of winter is like they're probably more active right now, and then when the summer comes, it's like this guy was telling me there's days where the news literally says like if you're above the age of 65 or below the age of like 10, you're not supposed to go outside because it's like dangerous. You'll just die. Like that's so fucked.
dude, I would just feel so disrespected if I was 65 years old and you're like, you can't go outside, old man.
Yeah, someone sees
Like,
you outside and calls the cops.
yeah, they're like, I don't know. I've always thought that's hilarious. Like, yeah, I guess
They
if like
just
you're
spray you with
actually,
a fire hose.
yeah, like if you're actually senile, then sure, like don't go outside. But like, I don't know, like what, I don't know.
You're
Maybe I'm
walking your dog, you're getting your mail, and someone just like hoses you down.
old man, get inside. Yeah, 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 that would piss me off. If I lived somewhere like that, I would purposely walk in the middle of the day so people thought I was gonna die. Um, But dude, this Whaley fight just started. Whaley
I
looks like
can't
she's
watch it.
getting mauled, bro.
No, bro, no, don't say that.
I'm not kidding. She is
I'm
literally
just
just
gonna
on
look at
her
the
back.
live odds.
I
The
mean,
live odds.
her odds went up. She must have. I just pulled it up. She must have hit her with something because her the odds got better. She was like plus 150, and now she's plus 100. But
My,
now it's probably worse. What
mine
do the
still
live odds
shows
say now?
plus 150 online. Oh, now I'm
No.
plus 175.
Yeah, it was plus 100
Yeah,
when I pulled it up.
great.
She's probably gonna get. I don't know.
Yes, great.
But
Not what we need.
anyways,
Yeah, so
dude.
that's what
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say. That's how my bets have been going lately.
Yeah, same here, dude. I was gonna ask how's training going? I don't think we talked about that last week.
Yeah, I don't think so. It's good. Yeah, it's just clicking off. Just running a lot, still working out. Went down to Camp Verde again yesterday for a workout, which was super nice. So down to
It
3,000 feet, um, like 45-minute drive, and it's like 65 degrees there. So it's like not a really nice place to like live, but it's like a 3 mile road loop. So it's really nice and it's easy to fuel by myself, which is very important. But yeah, I met this German marathoner, shout out Johannes. He came to flag on Wednesday and I ran with him today. And so he's going to be, I have 23 tomorrow. And I think he's supposed to have 23 with me. So it's going to be the first person I've had for a full long run since Elise was on the bike with me before Chicago. So that'll be pretty
damn.
sweet. So yeah, that'll be nice. And where he's running the same race as I am, which is really nice. And he does stuff with like Bandit and Lost Boys too. So
Oh
I hate that you just grimace at probably my bet.
no. Yeah, she just dropped a guillotine on Whaley, but she
Yeah,
looks like she's about to stand up. Oh no, Whaley's on top. Okay, you're good.
nice.
Um,
Yeah, yeah, but no, it's good. It's just like picking it off, and then yeah, racing will be here. I mean, I race in like 5 weeks, pretty much. March 16th, I
dude,
race,
that's
so
insane. Holy shit.
yeah, it's gonna come really quick. And then after that, it's like
Wait,
um a month
what is
until
the date
Boston.
of the race? What is it? Oh wait,
March
right.
16th.
You're racing a half marathon. I keep forgetting. I'm like, wait,
Yeah.
Boston is in March, what? Okay,
No,
yeah.
no, no. Yeah, yeah. So I mean, I travel for like my racing in about a month, and then yeah, a month after that, it's like basically I don't know, 8 weeks, 9 weeks, I'll be racing in Boston, which is crazy. So yeah, it's gonna come really quick. And then yeah, I'll have the summer off pretty much. I don't know what I'm gonna do in the fall, but it's gonna be over
Summer
really
off,
quick.
huh?
We'll
Could think of
see.
some stuff we could get into.
We'll see. We'll see what the marathon gods have in store for me after Boston.
Is Elise still coaching you for all this stuff, or are
Yeah,
you writing
yeah,
all your stuff on your own? Okay.
yeah. Elisa's got full reins of it, so.
Dang.
Yeah, she knows what she's doing. It's pretty legit. But yeah, there's a lot. I mean, there's like flexibility. So like my long runs, it's like tomorrow. Normally I like to do my long runs at like six up here, like 6:10 pace. But like tomorrow, if it ends up being like 6:30, it's like I'd rather have someone run with for 23 miles than do like 6:10s on my own. So there's a lot of flexibility. But yeah, as long as the workouts are still good and I'm not like fucking around too much, that's fine. And I have not been fucking around, so that's good.
What? Yeah. What's the? I have two questions. What first? I assume all this stuff's on your Strava, so I don't think this is a secret. But how many miles a week are you running right now? If
135.
okay, I wasn't sure if that was public knowledge or not. That's a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah, it's all on my Strava. Yeah, it's like the last 3 weeks have like 135, 137, 138, and I think this week will be 136, 137. So it's like yeah, between like all in that very similar range, but yeah, it's all on Strava.
Is that more or less than before Chicago?
It's less numbers wise, but it's more consistently higher. So it's like before Chicago, I ran 2 weeks of 150, and then we went to Paris and I ran for 3 days. And then when we got back from Paris, I went like 90, 120, 135. And then I basically raced New Haven. So that was like 9 or 100. And then I built up for, then went to like 120 and then I tapered for Chicago. So it was like kind of all over versus this one has been more it's been like 4 or 5 weeks at close to, or 4 or 5 weeks over 130 so far. And I mean, I don't race for another 4 or 5 weeks, so it'll be all the same thing. So it's less technical miles because I'm not running any 150s or like 140s, but it's going to be a lot more consistent of like that. It'll just be a straight line instead of like train hard, go to Paris, come back, race,
right?
train hard, race. Yeah. So it's yes and no to your question.
Yeah, but I mean, realistic. I mean, thinking about it logically, having that. I mean, even if it's slightly less in mileage for some weeks, having the consistency should lead to. I mean, you should run a lot faster, I
Yeah,
would think.
yeah. I just and having more time. Like, I mean, when we got back from Paris, it was like 8 weeks out to Chicago, and that's when I really started training. And now I've been training for like 14 weeks out from Boston. So it's definitely almost like double what I was or what I did before Chicago. So yeah, it's definitely a lot more, but it's if everything like continues just being consistent, it'll be hopefully a lot easier to run it around the same time in Boston.
Do you have any early race predictions for your half for like or like goals for like what you'd like to run?
No.
No? Okay, fair enough.
No, I'm interested to see. I don't know what the start list looks like. I'm not super concerned about that, but I think, I mean, top five at that race is, I just want to get paycheck from that race. And then, so I think that'll be like top five to top eight. And then Boston, I think, as usual, like top five American is realistic. The American field's kind of crazy, but I think Boston is like a course that could suit me well. So, and then you never know who's going to show up and who won't. So, top five to top eight American at Chicago or at Boston, and then top five, top eight overall at New York, I think would be pretty money. And then hopefully expand off of that in the future. But yeah,
That
go
would be
back to the
sick.
track.
Dude, that yeah, fuck.
I'm going to be a Grand Slam challenger. I'm
Dude,
going to
that
announce
would
that for
hey,
the
I
women.
mean, you'll finish last, but you get 10 G's.
Yeah, I'm going to race the women instead, actually.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, I mean, you'd in a women's race, you'd probably win the 10.
I
You'd
wouldn't get
probably win.
last. There is no 10, but I wouldn't get last.
Oh, right, right. Yeah, there's no 10. Yeah, in the five, no, in the five, I mean, what's your PR? Wasn't it like 13:30 from college? What do you think you're running a 5K right now?
13:30 probably. I haven't done much speed work on the track, but yeah, I think I could run. I mean, I think if I tried, I could run close to 13:25 or so. I would like to think so. Yeah, I don't see many women doing that, but I think the 3K would be tough.
Yeah, 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 that's true. The 3K you probably get sauced up. Yeah,
But who knows?
but
I mean,
the
if I ran a 13:45, that was, I mean, whatever
that
I
should
ran would
win.
take absolute life to do. Anything close to 14 minutes, I think would take a lot out of me.
Yeah,
I don't know. Who knows? I have no clue.
yeah, yeah. Kyle Merber hit up Chuck for one of
Yeah,
your
if you need
challengers.
any female challengers, just spice it up a little bit.
Yeah, the 3K, it would be interesting. Who do you think takes it, you or Elise in a 3K?
I think, I mean, see she PR'd last week, 8:29 indoors, but her PR outdoors is 8:25. I still think I could run like 8:10, 8:15 on like
Nice.
right now. And then if I did like track workouts for a week, I think I could go 8:0s. So I'm still gonna say I can beat her.
I can't wait till you get to be in, well, maybe this won't happen to you, but until you're in my position where you're just like, yeah, my girlfriend is faster than me.
I think the 1500 would be close. I mean, she ran 350. What'd she run at the trials? 355, 356, 356. That would be pretty fucking hard. I think I could run like 348, but that would be a lot.
Yeah,
So
that would probably be the most. Or what do you or maybe an 800 probably would actually be the best. That'd probably be
I
the
think
most
I would beat
competitive.
her in an eight.
Oh, you would. Okay. Well, fuck.
I don't
Whatever.
know. I don't know. A K. I feel like a K. She would start like she would post me at a K. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, let's put something together. I'd
Elise
I'd love.
has like sneaky strength speed. It's weird. It's not like
I mean, yeah, she
speed,
ran
but it's
420
like
last week. Like,
yeah,
it's pretty
yeah. It's like
fast.
speed. Yeah, even splits of 420. So Yeah. Ooh, I'm looking at it live odds.
Dude, she's got a
Zhang Weili minus 810. Let's go, bro.
810. What the fuck? It's because, dude, she like cut her knee or something. Oh, she starched her a little bit, and then she hurt her knee.
Nice.
She's got a huge cut on her knee, bro.
Big, big for me. Eating good
Suarez
tonight.
does. How much did you put on it? $10?
$10, so it'd pay out like 20 or pay out 12. I'd cash for 22.
I put $5 on John Whaley. I couldn't put too much because I also bet on Sean Strickland. Betting on two
You're
underdogs is
hedging your
never
bets.
good. Yeah, well, not really, but
Oh
yeah.
yeah, I guess not really.
But
All right, bro.
all right, yeah. I think we should wrap it there, right?
Yeah, you gotta bro hear me out. I guess I hit one earlier, but do you have one?
Bro, hear me out. Hmm. Bro, hear me out. I'm looking forward to when you get. I don't have a good one.
Here
I
we
would.
go. Here we go.
No, fuck
Cringe
you.
alert, cringe alert. Get ready to cringe.
uh, uh. Okay, I got one. That's not. I was about to say I'm looking forward to when you get back and we can watch a UFC event together. Um. Okay, bro, hear me out. Um. Living in Boulder with all the wind and the Marshall Fire a few years ago actually kind of freaks me out that like maybe my house will burn down one day.
Wow.
That got really
That's
dark.
it.
I don't
That's it.
know.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That got really dark, but that whole fire thing last weekend was actually very scary. So,
Yeah, you're
oh
still
my
scarred by it.
dude, they're banging in the middle of the oh, this is
Oh,
dude, are
the out
you
of
watching this
context, the
right now?
listeners. No, I can't listen. I can't watch it.
Oh
Out
my
of context for
God.
the listeners, Kyle's just watching a porno right now.
No, dude. Okay. What I'm doing is I'm watching Weili Zhang fight. What's her name? Suarez. She just starched her in the middle, but she's not down. She's still like kind of wobbled. But oh man,
Are you watching it on TikTok? How are you watching it?
no comment.
Oh, on TikTok.
Yeah, well, down. Oh, dude, you can't download it now, can you?
I
Have you
heard. No, I
tried?
don't think so. Uh-uh.
You should try. I heard you can't download it, which is crazy because it might get deleted. So I guess they're not letting new people download it, which kind of sucks. But yeah, you should download it if you can. Not that that's where I'm watching it, but yeah.
Sorry, Dana White. Sorry, Dana White.
No, Dana, I'm paying for the pay-per-view. Chillax. Um, all right, bro. Well, yeah, we should we'll give an update on how our bets cashed
Yeah,
next week on the UFC fights and on the Super Bowl. And
yeah,
go go Eagles, please God. No more
yeah,
Taylor Swift.
yeah. And to all the listeners, I just want to reiterate it was tough love earlier. It's past my bedtime. I didn't mean to call you guys F words.
Oh wait,
Mother
wait,
effers.
I have a new bro, hear me out. Bro, hear me out. You've worked in how to shout out your mom 3 times in the last 3 podcasts, which I think is great. Shout out Charlie's mom.
Yeah, see? There we go.
Uh,
She's our top loyal listener right now because
we
she
should
writes
have
in the
Charlie's
house.
mom on the podcast at
We
some
should.
point.
She wouldn't know
That'd
what
be
to do with
fun.
herself. She would
Yeah,
know what to do.
that would probably make a great podcast.
Yeah.
Next time she's out in Boulder
Leave a
or
five
something.
star rating if you want my mom to be the first guest.
Yeah, yeah, leave a comment if you think yeah, Charlie's mom should be our first guest. All
All
right. All
right.
right,
All
bro.
right, listeners. All right, bro. I will catch everyone later. I'm gonna hopefully cash out this bet and then get to bed.
But you still have to stay up for the
Cash
Duplessis
out this
fight.
bet, put in the other bet, and then get to bed.
All right, bro. Have a good long run tomorrow. Everybody, thank you for listening to episode 7. We're planning on being back next week. So we'll actually post about this one probably on social media. So if
Yeah.
you missed the last one, go listen to the episode 6. And yeah, hope everyone has a great
Send
week.
it to one friend. Send it to the one your one degen friend. Everyone has a degenerate friend. Send it to that one degen friend, and if you get this sent to you, that means you're probably the degen of the friend group. Sorry, but
Yeah.
yeah, we need some. the more exposure to all the degens.
You probably also should be somewhat interested in track and field, or like 30 minutes to 45 minutes of every podcast. It's going to be
Yeah.
pretty fucking boring for you. But yeah, other than
Yeah.
that, degens welcome. So, or track degens, we should say. Track
Both.
slash degens welcome. So,
Welcome to the jungle, baby. Okay.
okay. Okay. I'm cringe. I'm cringe. Yeah. Charlie's
Okay.
being
Yeah.
a
We're
troll.
this
This is
this
going on
meeting
too
has
long.
this recording has ended.
All right, guys. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next week.